Hi, everyone. We are just kind of waiting for everyone to trickle in, and then we will go from there. So I'll just probably give it one more minute or so, and then we will start. In the meantime, I have a poll here just to kind of gauge our audience today and see where you're coming from or why you're here today. So if you want to give us an answer of why you're here, that can maybe help me navigate this as well. Okay. We'll go ahead and get started here today. It looks like some people are looking for new software, a couple vendors here. So welcome everyone. My name is Jessica. I am the Vice President of Operations here at 6Storage. I also have played a big role here in the designs of our new software. So I am happy to have you all here today. I'm kind of hijacked this demo today. My mom, Michelle, normally does them, but I have stepped in today just to offer a different face and some other insight to our new version of V3. So I just will go over a few things today. We've been having these demo sessions twice a month. I know we have other ones coming up in the future, and then we'll send out more information of how these will change as the time goes on. But we are happy to show you some features today. If you're here, if you've already seen some of this and you've already been on a few of our demo days, some of this might be a little bit redundant, but we do have a large number of people that are here for the first time. So we just wanted to kind of go over the basics, some of the main things that we've been talking about. And then as the time progresses, we'll start throwing in some new things. Also for our current customers, we do plan on having another demo that will tell you specifically what has changed in the software. So stay tuned for that. I know Michelle went over a little bit last time, but we'll take a deeper dive into exactly what changed, how it's different, how it's the same. We personally find this very user-friendly, very similar to our version 2, but also different at the same time. So we feel like if you've used software before, whether it's ours or someone else's, this is very easy to navigate. And then, of course, as we've done in the past years, we are really keen on taking feedback from our customers and making those changes accordingly. So it is something that we actually do and don't just say we're going to do. Okay, so one of the main things that we wanted to focus on, and let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, I think we're there. All right. So one of the main things that we wanted to focus on is kind of the perspective of who actually uses this software. Obviously, a lot of it's managers, or if you are a smaller facility, you might just do it yourself. So what information did you actually want to see on your dashboard? A million different pie charts and graphs and things might not be as applicable and helpful as some of this information that we decided to put on the dashboard. One of the things that I really like is this auto pay status. It'll tell you if your auto pay is currently running. This is just a demo account, so some of this stuff is stagnant. But in this situation, we would say that the auto pay is currently running. And then these numbers will change as, of course, it keeps going. Obviously, getting money is probably one of your main concerns. So this feature is super, super helpful to kind of know where you're at for the day. Of course, if you're somebody that doesn't check this every day, you'll also get a report that's emailed to you. So even if you're not logging into the software every day, if you remotely manage or something like that, and maybe your facility doesn't take as much time to be in our software, you still will get a report for the auto pay for the day, and it'll give you a lot of helpful information. Another big thing that we wanted to focus on, like I said, is this one screen type view. Fitting as much information as we can on these screens that's helpful and not just a waste of space or too small. So you can see some of the main different widgets here. Something we plan for the future is the ability to choose which widgets you want on the screen. So we'll have more widgets, and then you can decide per user what you want to see on this screen. So we have so much to come. So that's just kind of a sneak peek at that. The same goes for our tenant screen. So of course your navigation is up top here. But the tenant screen, again, we just really wanted to make sure that everybody, you had this one screen view type thing, and you didn't have to click around a bunch. So this screen here will show you, of course, this is the tenant profile. And in this particular situation, a customer has 3 units. This situation down here is just a snapshot of the units. The main information that you might want to see instead of having to click on each unit, just some main things like the gate code, if their auto pay is on or not, off or not, when they're paid through. And then if you did want to see the actual details of the unit, you could just simply click on the unit and it pulls it up specifically on the right side here. Again, pretty much all the information that you could possibly want to see about your specific rental or lease, and all of the different, stuff that comes with renting a unit these days, down here at the bottom. Another cool feature that we are implementing that I'm not sure is out there is the rate history. So with our rate management system, which of course, if you're not familiar, is automating your rate increases and automating your revenue management. So that has to do with increasing, automatically increasing unit prices depending on your occupancy. You set up all the rules. I'll go over more of that on a future demo. But one thing that is going to be super helpful, especially for people who are switching to our software, is their rate history. So what we'll do is we'll upload the last information from your current software so that you can automatically start using our rate management system and it knows your last rate change. So again, just highlighting some different things here that, might not be in your current software, or things that our customers have asked for over the future that we have decided to implement for ourselves. And then just one last little detail. The top part here and the left side is for the tenant profile is supposed to be tenant specific. So all of this information in this kind of, I don't know, whatever shape you would call this, these three boxes here are for all of your tenant information. And then the specific unit information, like I mentioned, would be down in this box on the right here. Another important screen that kind of gives you one big snapshot is the unit screen. So this is where you would set up your unit information. You would not have to do this obviously individually. This would be done through an upload if you are switching to us, and your information will be automatically migrated if you're a current V2 customer. Our upload is extensive. We've heard and we've witnessed in the past that a lot of software doesn't allow for a very detailed upload of your information. It just takes the basics and then you have to go manually do the rest. So we've accounted for that, allowing for you to upload all of this information that you see here. And so that your units are just good to go in one swoop. Like I said, a lot of this information, if you are switching to us, is downloadable from your current software. Just takes a little bit of manipulating and then, right back into ours. And we will help you with this if it's something that you're not super comfortable with. But once the details are uploaded, you do have all those units in this unit screen. Again, the one view situation where you have your list of units, but if you need to know the details of that unit, you can simply click on it and it pops up here. For our V2 customers, this is different. As you know, you have to open a new screen right now to be able to see this. So this is something different. We have these filters on the left here. So you can filter by whatever you're looking for. You can search it. Lots of just helpful information to see as soon as you come to this page. Again, the same concept when it comes to delinquency, being able to see everything in one shot. Some other just helpful information that you can find here, like these icons, which tells you that this particular customer, all of these customers in the delinquency tab are past due, of course. So this $sign just means they're past due. When you start seeing the icons of the gate and the lock, you know that they're overlocked and their access is locked out if you have an integrated gate system. And then if you're looking to search or have different actions, we have those action items. For bulk action, there are some bulk action that can take place for overlocking and unlocking. And then some singular action items if you just want to pay now from this screen or some other options here. So again, we just find this one screen very helpful, just one snapshot. We don't have this in V2, so our V2 customers are currently working off of just a past due report or something similar. So this is super helpful as sort of a workable template or a workable space versus just running a report. Our invoices and payments run the same way as well. So this lists all of the invoicing that has taken place. You can see the different statuses over here. In a future update, this status will automatically show. You don't have to click it. So that's a change that we're going to make. It'll also give you the date and time and whether it was delivered or opened, or it'll give you all of that status. Then on the payments tab, again, this one view situation of those payments. You can see the success or the failure. If you're a manager that's following up on people, you can simply, we don't have any that failed. This is a demo account, but you can simply search by the failed. It'll give you a quick place to be able to call tenants. Same from the delinquency screen. So what we really wanted was the malleability for our different operators to use our system in the way that works for them. So everybody operates so differently depending on really a lot of different factors. So we have really designed this to be malleable for any operation. We also did everything with automation in mind. So we've added as much automation. Automation is pretty standard in the industry right now. But in a lot of cases, automation is marketed, but it might not be true automation. If you have to click a button for something to happen, it is not automation. Of course, you have to set it up, so that doesn't count as clicking a button. But after you set it up, if it runs on a scheduler and is just sitting there for you to do something with, that's not automation. True automation does it for you. So our invoices, our late fees, communication, all of that stuff is easily automated. You get notifications of that automation as it is running, like I mentioned on the auto pay situation. Same for invoices. You'll get the same type of invoice report sent to your email as well. And then this screen I have up now is just kind of where you set everything up in. So you do have the flexibility to set up really anything you want. We have our architecture was built very granular. So you are able to really fine tune exactly what type of automated things you want to happen and when you want them to happen. And they can even happen on the unit group level or the unit type level. So it's not a blanket setting for your whole facility. There are, like you see here, the different storage categories that you can set different settings up for. So we're taking automation kind of to the next level with being able to automate at, the granular levels. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have today? One thing I did want to ask is if, you want to put in the chat as well. If you are honestly current customers, new customers, what features are you looking for? We know that these systems pretty much all do the same thing at a core level. But what are you looking for? Or what is your current software not providing that we might be providing for you? If you want to start putting those in the chat, we'd like to take that information and, gather thoughts for our next demo so we can maybe show you those items that you are missing or really want to see. So if you want to go ahead and put that in the chat, you can do that while we're finishing out here. Our chat too, if you've been on these demos the past couple of times, we are using a new demo or a new presenting system. So we've had a little bit of technical difficulties with our chat, but I think it's finally working. So if you have questions that you're looking for, I'll try to take what we have. I'll try to take some here. And as they come in, and hopefully we can address the rest over email if we need to. Let me see if there's anything else I had on my list today for to show you. Like I said, a lot of this stuff we have gone over, so I'm sorry if it's a repeat for some of our customers or if you've been on the demo days before, but we really wanted to highlight some of these main features that we are rolling out with V3. And like I said, we'll probably have more focused demos going forward in the coming months. So when you register for those, you'll be able to see exactly what topics we'll be covering. And if that's something that interests you, then, join, or if you want to skip that one, that's fine too. Another thing that I wanted to highlight today was our tenant protection or content coverage. We are committed to being able to integrate or allow you to use as many vendors as you'd like. Of course, if it takes an integration, we are working through our list of integrations with vendors. So as their development time allows, we'll be able to, integrate even more integrations than we have today. But one of the big topics is always content coverage and who you can use. In our system, you can use anybody you want to. We've blanketed it with content coverage everywhere because we know some people sell tenant protection and some people sell insurance. So we've run into in V2, people didn't want insurance everywhere, in screens if they were selling tenant protection. So content coverage has kind of become more of a standardized industry term, and that's what we're moving towards. And so in the system, you can use either insurance or content coverage. You can set up those plans and the providers, and they will work just as they do right now. Okay, let's see here. Can you have more than one item registered, such as a boat, for each when insurance expires? With license number for each and when it expires. Yes, you'll be able to add multiple vehicles. So during the move-in, I can show you at least the settings. Custom fields. So under the vehicle information, like I said, if you're new to this, one of the other things we have highlighted before in other demos is the customability of our move-in fields. If I just start from the standard tenant info, like I said, everyone runs their facility so different and not everyone wants to collect the same information. So this is something else that we've kind of drilled down granularly. And while the setup might look a little bit overwhelming because there's so much here, what it does is give you the flexibility to really do whatever you want. So for these fields, when it comes to your standard tenant info, military info, vehicle info, you can decide exactly what information you want to collect, if you want to make it mandatory or not, and that's both for the admin portal and the rental hub, and which is the online rental situation. So for the vehicle info, you have the option to turn on or off all of these fields when it comes to regular vehicles, trailers, and boat information. And so, this is just a lot more than we've seen in our current version, and as well as what we know is on the market. So really excited about this feature and how it works for you. The store, I think COVID has really jet set the whole camping, RV, boat facilities. So, this is an added feature for sure if you have any type of parking. Let's see what other questions we have in here. Sentinel, yes, we are integrated with Sentinel, Winson. So if you have an old system, you just want to make sure that you are paying for their cloud communication. I don't think you have to upgrade or anything physically, but they do require some type of cloud connection to be able to connect to other software. Private notes for each unit. Electric doors in each unit. I'd like to store the master code. Yes, you can put the notes on the specific units. It would be under the unit note, which is in here. So these unit notes here are specific to the unit, and you can add them through the sitemap as well. So you could use your codes there. When it comes to the codes, though, you can choose to show them or not. So even if you wanted to use them in these serial code and unlock code places, you can store them there, but nobody ever has to see them. So that's under the customizations. You can turn those fields on or off. Looking for an ability to charge a convenience fee for credit card transactions, but waive fee if paid via ACH or check. This is something that is a hot topic in the industry. We see about 50-50. Some people say it's the cost of doing business. Other people want to pass it on. We are working with the payment processor to have that type of feature. We don't have it right this second, but we are working with the payment processor in order to be able to do that. In the meantime, we did implement at least a fee that can be percentage based. I know in V2, it could only be one or the other. So for this situation, your fees can be either invoice or rent based. Let's see if I can, so you can do a fee based on the percent of rent or percent of total invoice. So that could be one way that you do it. But it is an intricate process to be able to pass on those fees. So we're working on it, but it's not something we have right this second. Can you integrate our map in the program? Yes, the sitemap here, you can build it out as intricately as you'd like to. So these units over here aren't assigned yet. So if you had they're not put on the sitemap yet. So if you had put them on the sitemap, then there would be nothing over here. But this is the sitemap. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just kind of jumping around here with the questions. If I don't get to them in this call, I don't want to take everybody's time too much. We'll get back to you via email. I see one about running autopay separately for each unit. Yes, this was a big one that people were asking for. I'll show you here. Under payment types here, you can decide which card you want. So if I added another payment method here, I could say which card I wanted for these units. Well, in each line, all units would be listed, but you would just turn the card on or off for which unit you wanted to pay with each card for autopay. Let's see. Another question about payment processing with which processor you have to use or you can use. There won't be a situation where you can just integrate with any and all processors that you can come up with. If you wanted to do it that way, you could manually record the payments. We will have a couple different that you can choose from. But to start out with, it'll just be probably one that you have to choose from. And then those will evolve. But we do plan on being able to take your credit card statements and at least try to get you a better rate than what you're paying now. Can you convert from Storage Commander standalone to your system? Yes, converting is really simple. It just the difficulty of it will just be what your current system can spit out for you. So a lot of them, you can get the majority of the information that you need for switching just through a download of reports. Even if you have to put a couple reports together, it's typically not too painful, and we can help you through that. So yes, switching, super simple. It's just simple, just a download from your current software, upload into ours. And then, like I said, just depending, and even if your system doesn't pull that information, you can manually enter it into the spreadsheets. And then it'll just upload in one swoop. Rate increases, adjust the levers. Can you clarify that, Steve? And I can answer that for you. As far as pricing of our system goes, our pricing structure kind of just depends on how many units you have. And there's a lot of different variables in there. If you want us to give you a quote just for what you have, we're happy to do that. It's typically around $1 a unit. But like I said, kind of just varies on what products you're wanting to purchase and how many units you have. But we can get you a specific quote. We're happy to do that. Also rate increases for our customers. We're not a corporate structure. We're privately held. We're probably one of the last privately held software companies out there. So we have different intentions than our competitors. While we're never going to tell you that we're never going to increase your rate, it is not something that we have had history of doing very often. But as you can see, the economy's changed, different things like that. We have employees who do a good job and, also want to get raises just like everybody else. So we do increase, but it's definitely not a complaint that we have compared to other industry players. PCI compliance is done through the payment processor, but there is paper trails, different logs, all kinds of things in the system. We accept e-transfers, send a couple dollars more than their rent, where they round up. Is there a way to apply credit? Yes, it will just apply the credit for overpayment. In our current RE2 version, we also have to create the next invoice, but you will not have to do this in this version. We have different over certain times. We raise percent. Yes. So there is different levers. You'll be able to set it up. Our rate manager, we're fine tuning, but let me see what we have here that I can show you. No, sorry, under automation. So essentially you would add a rule and you can, you would increase or decrease depending on how many days or the move-in or the last rate change. And then you can apply multiple rules at a time. So that should cover what you're looking for. We have certain levers like tenants over certain time, we raise certain. And that can be done at the unit group level. For the rate management, at least for current customers, you will get the, it will run for you, and then you'll be able to approve it or make the changes that you want to before sending them out. Yes. So you will have forms to be able to create any form that you want. Typically, all of the API and the back end of the software will be, the IP's address and all that stuff is typically, legal for the PCI compliance and the paper trail. But if you're somebody that wants somebody to complete a form, then you can just put that into your workflow, your customization at that time. StoreTrack. Yes. Yep. StoreTrack, we are, is the company that we're working with to build the revenue management part. If you're not familiar with StoreTrack, they essentially research and pull all competitor data, facility data, and then that information is used to predict and to help you decide what rates you want to increase depending on your occupancy level and different factors like that. Like I said, we should probably have a more in-depth demo on something on the revenue management side of things once all of those things are ironed out. But that is just kind of a preview. Okay, my last question, I'll go through here and look again. If you are somebody that is on different software, We'd love to know what would make you switch. We know that it's never a fun thing. If you don't know our background, my family has owned and operated self-storage for almost 20 years now. We have 3 facilities currently. We had 4, and we've sold 2 other ones. So we've bought, sold, built, all the things. We've had climate control. We do have climate control. We have drive up. We had parking. So our knowledge of self-storage is at the foundation of what we do. And we're excited to continue to build out this platform with the most updated architecture, continue to build out automation and AI as all of those things develop. What we're really excited for is that this new architecture, compared to a lot of the older architecture in our industry, will be a solid foundation to move forward and be able to move forward seamlessly without being painful for our customers or painful for us on the development side. Our APIs are clean. Everything is just very clean in this version on the development side too. So any vendors out there, we can develop as fast as you're available. Okay, so like I said, more to come. Didn't show you the rental hub. Didn't show you anything online yet. So like I said, we don't want these things to last super long. So we'll continue to have these, continue to give those information. Any questions I didn't get to because I was just kind of scrolling through here, we will follow up through email. And other than that, thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you next time, which is June. I wrote it down here, June 25th. We'll see you June 25th if you'd like to come back for our next topic. If we do plan on having a topic on that one, we'll try to get it out there. But if not, it'll be a surprise. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.